All right, let's get into it. The brand new gameplay reveal for the James Bond game we have all been waiting for, 007 First Light, has finally dropped, and we are going to break it all down. Okay, so let's just get the big one out of the way, right? The question on everybody's mind. This game is from IO Interactive, the absolute geniuses behind the Hitman series. So, is this just Hitman with a license to kill? Is it basically Agent 47, but this time he's in a tuxedo? That's what we're here to figure out. So let's dive in. And right off the bat, you can see that while the formula feels a little familiar, it's been seriously kicked up a notch. The whole thing just feels bigger, more complex, more cinematic, and honestly, way more ambitious. And the very first thing that grabs you is just, wow, the detail. The environments look absolutely incredible. But it's not just that it looks good, right? It's that the world feels alive. Every single person you see walking around seems to have a purpose, a reason for being there. It creates this totally credible setting that you just immediately feel immersed in. So that brings us back to that Hitman comparison. How does it actually build on what IO Interactive is known for? Well, it looks like they've made some really fundamental changes to the way stealth works. It's like watching them evolve their own formula, and it's pretty fascinating stuff. And this is where it gets really interesting. Look, Hitman, that was all about social stealth. You'd put on a disguise, you'd blend in. But 007 First Light, it's doing something different. Let's call it cinematic stealth. You're not changing your clothes, you're using gadgets to get where you need to go. And instead of those big, open-ended sandbox objectives from Hitman, this seems to be guiding you along a much more focused, story-driven path. It feels a little more mainstream, maybe, but definitely more Bond. And oh man, the gadgets. This is where that new approach really shines. We saw a dart phone that can knock out a guard so you can have a charismatic interaction. There's a hack watch for scoping out the environment, finding weak points. Of course, you've got your classic smoke devices for creating chaos, and even a laser for cutting through things or maybe even taking someone out. It's so clear they're leaning into that high-tech spy fantasy, not the whole hiding in the crowd thing. But maybe the biggest change, the most dramatic shift, is the pacing. This game does not stick to one speed. It has this incredible rhythm that goes from dead quiet, super tense spy stuff to just absolute pedal-to-the-metal action. Yeah, so 1 minute you're doing the classic Bond thing, right? You're sneaking through an enemy base, using your wits, checking your watch, just trying to stay a ghost. It's all very quiet, very calculated. And then, bam, it just explodes. Out of nowhere, the demo smoothly transitions into this insane car chase, which then flows right into a massive gunfight. That sudden shift in pace, it looks like it works so well. And really, that's the whole point, isn't it? This isn't just a spy game. It's like they've bottled the chaos of a modern action blockbuster, but instead of just watching it, they're handing you the controller and saying, go nuts. Okay, but wait, if it's all so cinematic and perfectly choreographed, that begs the question, right? How much freedom do you really have? This is where we get into that tricky balancing act between letting the player do what they want and telling a great story. I mean, the places we saw looked massive, super open. But can you just wander off and do your own thing? Probably not if they want to tell a tight cinematic story. They've got to make sure you see all the cool explosions and story moments. So how do they pull that off? Well, it seems like they're using this idea of a guided sandbox. What does that mean? It means they build these huge open-feeling levels that give you the illusion of freedom. But underneath, the design is subtly nudging you, guiding you down the path the story needs you to take. So you feel like you're making all the choices, but the game is making sure you don't miss the blockbuster moments. So what does all this add up to? When you look at all these pieces, it's pretty clear that 007 First Light isn't trying to be just one thing. It's not just a stealth game, and it's not just an action game. No. This thing is shaping up to be a really impressive hybrid of the two. And the potential here is just huge. You've got this wild, unpredictable pacing, it looks absolutely gorgeous, and there's a ton of different things to do. I mean, this could genuinely be the shot in the arm that the whole action stealth genre needs. But, okay, let's pump the brakes for a second. Being this ambitious is also really risky, and the demo wasn't perfect. It raised some questions. For one, can it even run well on consoles with all those explosions and effects? Also, the enemy AI, let's just say it looked a little rough around the edges. And the biggest question of all, can they make the stealth, the driving, and the shooting all feel equally amazing. That is a massive challenge.
So that leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. If, and it's a big if IO Interactive can actually pull this off, if they can nail this incredible vision and fix those technical issues, this game could be more than just the best Spawn game ever. It could literally change the game for the entire action genre. The only question is, will it deliver? I guess we're going to have to wait and find out.